Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Thompson of drlisaandthompson.com, and I have a question for you. What's holding you back from building the business of your dreams? What's keeping you from taking action? Is it because you are afraid that you don't have an audience? Are you afraid no one's going to listen to your message? Do you feel that you just don't have the credentials and the success that people are going to want to follow you? Well, in this video, I want to help you out. I want to give you some encouragement and to think differently, okay? So I'm going to start this off with a story. This is a story of a girl named Sarah. Sarah was taking a public speaking class, and she was terrified of speaking, just absolutely terrified. She showed up every day, and the instructor for the class was a graduate student, and he was pouring in and teaching them how to all be better public speakers, finding fun and unique ways for people to learn how to relate to each other from speaking right from the stage, if you will, and the stage in the classroom, on the public stage. And one of the requirements were you had to do 3 speeches. So the first 2 speeches came. Sarah did not show up for class. She did not give a speech, but she kept showing up. She kept showing up to the classes. The graduate instructor knew, she's going to fail the course. She did not complete her first 2 speeches. And then it came time for the finals. So 3 weeks before finals, he put out the schedule for the speaking and who was going to be speaking. And Sarah noticed her name wasn't on the list. So she waited, and she waited until after class was done and after the instructor was talking with a couple other students. She went up to him and said, "I noticed my name wasn't on the list." And he said, "Well, I didn't think we were going to put you on there because you didn't show up and do the first 2 speeches, and you're going to fail the course." And she said, "Please let me do this speech. I was afraid to do it the first 2 times, but I kept showing up to class, and you kept encouraging me and inspiring me, and I know I can do this." And so what he did is he waited for the last day, okay, that they were doing speeches for the final speeches, and he put her down as the last person. And he said, "Okay, so in the next 3 weeks, I want you to meet with me after class, and we'll help prep you to do this speech." So she would come, and she would get real scared and terrified, and the instructor encouraged her. He said, "You can do this. I believe in you, okay? Just do what I'm telling you to do." Worked with her patiently. Final came. She came up. She arrived. He was worried that she wasn't going to show up, but she came. And she went up, and she had to give a 20-minute public speech in front of the whole class. And so she got up there, and she was a little bit nervous, and about 10 minutes in, all of a sudden she starts to stumble. She forgets what she's going to say. Panic is setting in, and she's got this look, and the instructor's thinking, "Oh my gosh, she's going to walk out the door." All of a sudden, in the class starts cheering for her, and they started saying softly, "Come on, Sarah, you can do this. Keep going. You're doing great." And she starts to hear the audience encouraging her. And she begins to talk, and all of a sudden she starts to open up, and she starts to say more. She starts to have more passion, begins to be more comfortable in front of her audience, and she starts to enjoy herself. Her speech didn't go on for 20 minutes. It went on for 40 minutes. And at the end of her talk, everybody stood up and gave her a standing ovation, and she got a huge hug. And as she walked out the door, she gave a big hug to her instructor with tears in her eyes, and she said, "Thank you. You inspired me to find my voice." And then she left. Now, this instructor was so moved by that story that it inspired him to go on and do bigger and better things, knowing that he could make an impact. And that instructor today is Brendan Burchard, one of the top influential leaders in the world. Now think about that. And Brendan at the time, as he was being a graduate student, he was getting totally burned out, thinking, oh my gosh, am I even making a difference? And here comes in this woman, and he literally changed her life. Now, the interesting thing was he came back, he went back to his alma mater, and he ran into some of his former students who were in that public speaking class. Not too many of them remembered who Sarah was, or the speech, or what Sarah said, but a couple of them did. And so this was a big lesson for Brendan, okay? And that is, not everyone is going to be receptive to your message, but there's going to be some that will. And they're the ones that matter. They're the ones that are going to come out and they're going to cheer you on and they're going to support you. Just like the class did with Sarah. Okay? Saying, you're great, you're doing great, keep going, you got this. Showing up and sharing your voice. Now think about this. Think about this. What if, what if Brendan didn't take that time to really work with this woman? Okay, do you think he would have still had the same amount of success? Would that have propelled him to go on and do bigger and better things? Hard to say. Hindsight's 20/20. But here's the thing I want you to understand, though, is that you have within you, what if your message went out there, okay, and it inspired one person to go out there and they did something that transformed the world? Maybe they discovered the cure for cancer. Maybe they discovered the cure for diabetes. Maybe they went out there and became one of the leaders of a country. Or maybe they became a CEO of a company that created some amazing revolutionary technology that changed the world, like a Steve Jobs, or a Bill Gates, or a Richard Branson. Think about that. Because in life, as you get older, and you get toward the end of your life, there's only two things that are going to pop into your head. I wish I had, or I'm glad that I did. Okay? You want to be on the side of, I'm glad that I did. Better to have tried and failed rather than sitting back and wondering, what if? So don't be afraid to get your message out there. There are people out there who are desperately seeking your message. They're looking for you. They want to find you, but they can't. They can't. So you have to learn to rise above that noise. Step over that fear. And you are going to make an impact. You really, really are. You don't know who's listening and watching. Sometimes your audience is going to be silent. And you're going to be sitting there thinking, am I making a difference? Am I having, did I matter? Is this message reaching people? And then all of a sudden, you're going to get messages. You're going to get maybe comments on your videos, or you're going to get an email message from someone, or you're at a live event and someone's going to come up and they're going to say, you changed my life. And there's nothing greater. And what I see a lot of leaders do is they love it when they envision people going up on stage and they say, you know what, I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for that particular person inspiring me. That's what drives leaders, is to raise a new generation of leaders and to inspire them. That's how we make a difference in the world. So I want to leave you with a quote, and it's a real powerful quote, from Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Now, a lot of times when we think of Kubler-Ross, we think of the stages of grief. But this is something about faith and keeping the course. And this is what Kubler-Ross says. When you come to the edge of all the light you know, and are about to step into the darkness of the unknown, faith is knowing that one of two things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught to fly. And you'll figure it out on the way. Isn't that what life's all about? Totally love this quote. So there you are, my friends. I hope you got value from this story today. Be like Sarah. Step out. Don't be afraid of messing up. You've got people who are going to be cheering you on. Your audience, the ones that love you and are responding and resonating with your message, they're going to be cheering you on. And I want to leave you with one more thought. Now think about this. Think about this. The Grateful Dead never sold out huge stadiums. They never had, their songs never hit the top 40. I think one did. Okay? Yet they are multi-millionaires because they built a fan base and an audience who loves them. And it doesn't need to be a big audience to do that. So keep that in mind. So there you are, my friends. I hope you got value today. If you did, leave a comment and share. And I just want to remind you, if you did not pick up a copy of Brendan Burchard's The Millionaire Messenger, pick up a copy and read it. It's absolutely amazing. He shows you, walks you through step by step how to create your message that it will resonate with your audience. This book is available in paperback, Kindle, or on Audible. You can pick it up at Amazon. You can click on the link you see in the video description or in the first pinned comment section below this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.